What's going on, people? This is your boy Keith, and when we come back, I got to tell you all about a hallelujah moment that happened to me today, and it involves the lady in the front office. And for those of you who have been around for a while and have heard me mention her, she doesn't really like a lot of scents, not just my colognes, but air fresheners you can have washed with a certain soap that's too strong or too loud, paint, anything, and it just makes her allergies go haywire. But the fragrance I wore today changed all of that, and I'm gonna tell you what she said about it when we come back. Stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gents, to The Fragrant Life, and my name is Keith. Here we talk about all things fragrance related. If you are new to this channel, then definitely make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you ring the bell icon for notifications. Like these videos, thumbs up, share these videos. Definitely be active in the comment section. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get to it. Now, I'm a little bit excited, if you can't tell. There are only a handful of fragrances that actually move me and get me revved up or get the juices flowing a little bit. And I'm gonna be really honest and transparent here. When I first smelled this in store, it did smell good. But at that particular point in time, I took a sniff, I smelled what I smelled, and I was like, you know what? This is just another cookie cutter type fragrance. And I wrote it off. Well, I went back to the store when I got my YouTube monetization money, like maybe a month ago or something like that. And I picked this fragrance up anyway because there really wasn't anything else out that I was interested in. And I wanted to buy something. So I picked this one up. And although I had it, I never wore it. I pick it up from time to time. I spray it just to get it in the air here, smell it. And that's about it. But I never wore it, like I just said. Well, I don't know what came over me today, and I was looking around on my shelf as I always do early in the morning and try to pick out what I want to wear. I step outside to see how cold it is, if it's just cool, is it cold, is it raining, is it warm out, and that's how I decide what I'm going to wear. So it was quite chilly this morning, and I don't know why I reached for this particular fragrance, but I did. And I'm actually glad I did. This one is the latest release. I can't even talk right now. I'm so excited. This is the latest release from Ralph Lauren, or Lauren, or however you want to say it. This is Ralph's Club. And this fragrance, it really surprised me today. Performance, longevity, even the compliment factor was there. And with a fragrance like this that only has, I think, 4 notes, which is, I think, clary sage, there's Virginia cedar, there is lavender, and there's one other note I'm forgetting. I can't remember what the last one was. But there's only 4 notes. And for something to only have 4 notes, in most cases, you think it wouldn't have body, it wouldn't have the oomph factor. And this one actually does. I sprayed this on and I kept expecting it not to last past 4.5, maybe 5 hours. And the longer the day got, the longer this fragrance was still on my skin. I kept smelling. I was like, man, I kept getting whiffs of it throughout the day. I'm on a forklift and I'm riding by and the breeze is blowing. I open up the bay doors to go out, unload and load trucks. And I kept getting whiffs of it all day long, and it smelled so good, man. And I was in and out of the front office and I didn't think nothing of it. So close to the end of the day, I went into the office, and the lady I've mentioned several times over who says she doesn't like the majority of the colognes that I've worn. Some of it makes her want to gag and all kinds of. She actually told me that today. And she was like, I came into the office. I was about to confirm one thing. I think that's shipping out tomorrow. And she was like, Keith, I got something to tell you. I said, is it bad or good? And she said, well, it's a little bit of both. But I was like, okay, cool, whatever. She was like, the scent you're wearing today actually is something that I can tolerate. She said, I really do like the scent. And she doesn't know anything about fragrance at all. She was like, this, whatever you're wearing, she said, is subtle. She said, it's not overbearing. It's not overpowering. She said, it's the most pleasant scent that you've worn since you've been working here. And if I wouldn't mind if you wore that every single day. And I looked at her like, wow, okay. Well, coming from somebody who doesn't like, a lot of loud scents or scents in general, like they were doing some painting in the front office. And even though they painted the night before, you could still smell the fumes of the paint on the walls and stuff. And they had to accommodate her. We had to put all kinds of fans in the office. We had to open doors and close other doors and change filters for the vents and the air ducts and all kinds of stuff. So it's a big process when it comes to somebody with a sensitive nose and allergies like that. Like she literally, if something gets at her and she can't tolerate it, she has to leave work. So, yeah, that's what she said about this fragrance today, man. And that actually solidified it for me to keep it, because I actually was going to get rid of this. Certain fragrances I just leave on my shelf as showpieces, but I really didn't care too much for this one at first. But coming from somebody who doesn't like a lot of the stuff that I wear, and for her to say what she said about this fragrance, that says a lot. And I got just that one compliment. Well, actually, I got two compliments, because the lady that sits in the office with her said something also. But the main person who it really resonated with is the one that couldn't stand anything I wear. Let's talk about performance. Performance on this fragrance was pretty good, if you ask me. Not a lot of fragrances on my skin last past 4.5, 5 hours. This fragrance actually lasted. I actually can still faintly smell it on my skin now. And it's going on 10 o'clock at night. I had this on since like 6 something going on 7 o'clock this morning. So that's well past 10 hours. Now, granted, I have to dig into my skin to smell it, but it's still there on my shirt, which is this flannel shirt, or thermal, I mean. I can still clearly smell it on this thermal, but on my skin, it's still there. It's just very, very faint. But I'm going to give it 10 plus hours on my personal skin. That's not bad. Projection on this was probably about 2.5 to 3 hours, which is pretty damn good if you ask me. This is a fragrance that I understand better now, especially after reading what the Ralph Lauren website had to say about this fragrance and what it was about. This fragrance is very, 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 very versatile. You can wear this through all 4 seasons: winter, spring, summer, and fall, day or night, I should say, and any occasion. You can wear this fragrance. There's not an occasion. Obviously, you can wear this to the office, especially, like I said, with somebody who has serious allergies like she does. And for her to say what she said, that makes this an office scent, in my opinion. I'd wear this on a date. I believe this is sexy enough to be worn on a date. You can wear this leisurely. You can wear it casually. You can wear this professionally, like you're a boss or a CEO or something like that. I personally feel that this fragrance is what Dior what is it, Dior Homme 2020 or Dior, I think it's Dior Homme 2020. What that fragrance is to Dior, this is what Ralph's Club is to the Ralph Lauren line. The Ralph Lauren line of fragrances, I'm not really a huge fan of. There's certain ones that I pick and choose that I like. But for the most part, they all stuck with this similar line. Either something that's basic, fresh, except for the green, the polo green. I like that one. But a lot of the other ones, you know, I wasn't really a huge fan of a lot of them. I do like Polo Red Extreme. That's pretty much it. This one, however, changed the game for the Polo line. And if they can continuously make fragrances that follow suit with something like this, and I'm not meaning that everything has to be smelled just like this, but if they can stay on the track of making fragrances that are appealing like this, but yet different enough that it doesn't smell like everything else that's out there, I'm cool with it. Now, let's talk price. So the price on this fragrance, at full retail, I would not recommend picking up for those of you who don't want to spend a whole lot of money for fragrances. For those of you who have deep pockets that want to, or you have a Belk's, Macy's, or whatever kind of card, then definitely use those points or use those cards and get your fragrance and go on about your business. But for people who like inexpensive fragrances, cheapies, I suggest not spending what you're going to spend for this fragrance right now. Wait till the price drops a little and then you can go get a bottle of it. 70, 80, 90 bucks, 100 and something bucks, you know, depending on where you're buying it from. I wouldn't do that. This, I guess for some people that can justify the price point, being that this fragrance is a great performer, and that's what a lot of us are looking for if we're going to spend that kind of money. Performance. Being that this is a Ralph Lauren polo type fragrance, I still can't justify it because it's a Ralph Lauren fragrance, and Ralph Lauren fragrances, in my opinion, have not been, even though they're popular, they haven't been, how do I say, they've been lackluster, if you ask me. Not a lot of polo fragrances last that long. I've heard and seen a lot of people say that they aren't impressed by a lot of polo fragrances, and I'm one of them. This one, however, it succeeded in doing what exactly they were trying to set out and do with it, and I'm happy for them. And I'm definitely happy that this worked out for me. It's a damn good fragrance. That's all I can say, guys. And if you haven't gotten your nose on Ralph Lauren's Ralph's Club fragrance, definitely do so. I know Ulta has it. Belk's has it. I'm not sure about places like Sephora and Macy's and places, because we don't have a lot of that around the area unless I travel 45 minutes to an hour out in like Jacksonville, Florida, or maybe go a little further like the Carolinas. But I haven't been out that far in a while. So this one actually came from, where did I get this from? I think I got this at a Ulta Beauty in Savannah, Georgia somewhere. I was visiting my other two kids, and I just so happened to pass by one, and I turned around and went back, and I didn't even know that this was out in any of the Ultas at that particular point in time, but they just so happened to have it on display away from all the other fragrances, like right in front of the door. And as soon as I walked in, I sprayed it. I walked around the store, looked at some other things, and I went ahead and purchased it. This was the second trip, not the first trip. The first trip, I didn't find it. The second one, I did. So with that being said, y'all, I really do like this fragrance, and I highly recommend at the least getting your nose on it. If you can get a sample or a decan of it, definitely do so. Do some testing. Maybe your body chemistry isn't gonna, in some people's cases, body chemistry makes a difference. Just because I got 8+ or 10+ hours, that doesn't mean the next man or woman will. So with that being said, y'all, I am out of here. Peace.